The Renault Clio 5 launched just a few weeks ago in South Africa, and hopefully you saw the video from the launch on the Motor Matters YouTube channel. Renault said evolution outside, revolution inside when it came to designing the Clio 5. So there are not that many changes externally from the Clio 4 unless you really know what you're looking for. The nose has changed slightly, you've got this very interesting treatment on the grille, but it's very, very similar. But they also have various spec levels in the range, as most people do. And this one is the top intense, but with the extra pack. And one of the features you get by going up with the pack is you get upgraded LED headlights. Safety, safety, safety. I always want to rave about safety, so I'm very happy that you can upgrade further to get more safety. No complaint there. On the intense models, you get 17-inch mag wheels. They certainly look good. They look the part, the bi-color, as they call them, the two-tone mag wheels. The Clio, of course, is a B2C segment hatch. Neat looks, very coupe-esque looks to it. And one of the features you do get is, of course, the door handles up top in the C-pillar over here that Renault like and would like to claim for their own, but I'm sorry, I'm not going to quite grant you that. You open up the back door, have a look at the space in the rear, and take the driver's seat into account if you want to see how much space you get in the back seat over there. Is not bad. Legroom is pretty good. Headroom is actually very decent for the car as well. I've got no complaint there. And you can see you've got cloth upholstery with a little leather and cloth mix actually, which is always useful, and lots of white stitching all over the place, etc. That looks very interesting. And then just swing the camera across and angle to the headrests on the front seats, and you'll see they're a very unusual shape that Renault have come up with for the headrest that I haven't seen elsewhere. But I have to tell you, they actually do work and they're very, very comfortable. And I think that's what really counts, quite honestly, in this scenario. And that's what you want. You come round towards the back over here. Again, the treatment's very neat, very straightforward, and not too much change from previous. Pop open the rear hatch. You've got a reasonably high loading sill to lift over, and even more so when I show you there's actually a dummy floor over here. So just keep in mind you will have to lift items quite high up to get into the boot space. And then way underneath you do have a space saver spare wheel down there. So you do have the spare wheel down there as well. But, well, hopefully you don't have luggage when you want to get to it, because it can be a bit of a pain. Nice handle over here to pull down to close the rear hatch. And you do get, with the pack, reverse camera and of course rear park distance control. The Clio range is powered by a 1-litre 3-cylinder turbo petrol engine. It's gone up from a 900 on the Clio 4 to a 1 litre, and power has jumped from 66 up to 74 kilowatts and up to 160 newton meters of torque. So it's a peppy little thing. It really is. It goes really well. It actually belies the power output quite a lot when you're on the road and cruising along in this little car. You actually feel that it's got much more power than that. But you'll see, we show you some on the road, and let's take a look inside. Taking the Clio out on the open road, just like the launch drive, I'm so impressed by how stable, how planted this little car feels. It's not that little, but it is a little car. And we've been driving in quite heavy rain. It's not so heavy now anymore, but the rain has been heavy, yet the chassis, the handling, it inspires confidence. It feels comfortable. You can cruise at a fair, reasonable cruising speed, even in heavy rain, and just feel very comfortable, very confident, very safe. And that really makes a big difference to me. This 3-pot motor, 1 litre now, 74 kilowatts. It's got more than enough grunt. Yes, if you really want, especially around town, you want to rev it up a little bit, get it buzzing. But on the open road cruising, you don't even need that, you don't use it. And we've been sitting at the national speed limit. It's just been very, very happy, very smooth, very comfortable. You'll notice I'm doing the national speed limit. Road noise is very low, it's quiet, It's just a cushioned ride, feels smooth, feels comfortable, nice space. The seats, typically French, are comfortable, and these unusual headrests, the unusual shape, but they really do work. They're very practical, interestingly enough. So overall, I've just got to give it a really good rating. I'm enjoying driving it. There are moments I wish it had a 6th gear on this manual gearbox. It's a nice gearbox. It shifts easily, smoothly, comfortably, and everything else. But they're just those little moments where I think, where's that extra gear? Where's 6th? And I think that would be a nice little addition to the range, not forgetting, of course, that I think so many buyers would love to have the choice of an automatic transmission as well, which right now you can't get on this car. And then the other little mystery is the very old-fashioned system. You can't even see it, but behind the spoke of the right-hand spoke of the steering wheel is a little stalk where you control the volume, etc., for the radio. And it's completely hidden and even a little bit awkward to operate even while you're driving, although it's behind there. So it's a silly little point, but it's something that personally I would change. Well, I wish they would change on the car. But you've got the safety spec, you've got the comfort, and the standout, the smoothness. I think that is my standout on this car. Jumping in behind the wheel, the important features I want to show you. You've got a nice 7-inch TFT screen in front of the driver. Of course, you can scroll, you can change. You know how that works. I'm not going to show you. But what's more important is that figure in the top corner there. We've done about 400 kilometers on this test. Open road cruise and a lot of urban driving and a little bit of pushing it as well, quite honestly. And we've averaged 6.7 liters per 100 kilometers for the test period. Now that's fair, and I think that's a very good representation of what most owners will get long-term with this car. And that's an important fact. You come across here, you can see you've got cruise control, you've got various items over here that are very useful on this car that you wouldn't expect. You've also got a lane departure warning system. So you've got those on this car as well. Remembering again that I said is the top spec version. So those are features that are nice to have and good to see on a car. Something that I really don't like, I'm sorry to tell you, is I had to swing the wheel to show you this little extra stalk over here. And that's your control for your sound system, radio, etc., volume, source, etc. But look at this. When you're driving with the car in the straight ahead position, you can't even see that stalk. You don't even know it's there, and then you wonder how you're going to operate your radio and sound system and media. So that's a bit of a criticism. I'm sorry. I really have to angle at this car. Just something I want to point out. On top models, again, you get push button start. So that's a feature you want to look at. And now, I keep mentioning the pack. Well, one of the features of the pack is the big 9-inch screen as opposed to a 7-inch on the other car, on the other models in the range. And the 9-inch screen with the pack includes reverse camera with, you can see that's the overhead for park distance control and the proper full reverse camera. So those are features you only get if you pay the extra bit of money for the pack. Just worth noting and keeping in mind. But it's a really nice big screen, isn't it? It works very well, has Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and very surprising to me, the Android Auto works wirelessly. And it's strange, suddenly in the recent few weeks, I've had a whole bunch of cars that have all had wireless Android Auto, and it just makes it so much easier, and it's just shown me what a pain in the rear end Android Auto is when you've got to use that cable. You've got inductive charging down here, and there you go, 2 USBs and auxiliary right there, and a 12-volt for front seat, all right here, right, easy, accessible, nice to use. You've got auto air conditioning or climate control, as they call it, right there for you as well, works effectively. And over here, I love this gear lever, this gear knob. It really feels significant, it feels good. But I've commented before, it's only a 5-speed, and I'm just going to leave it at that. I really, on the open road, thought to myself a number of times I would have loved that 6th gear. But that's what Renault have. That's what's available to them at the moment. Same as no auto at this point in time. And I do believe that that's going to change soon as well. You come over here, and this is interesting, on a little 1 litre turbo manual. You've got an electronic parking brake, and you've got auto stop start. Both of which work nicely, especially the parking brake. Not necessarily a feature you would find on all similar cars. So again, I do like that. Very neat. You can see the screen's well integrated. Interesting sort of trim to the dash over here with a little sort of almost carbon fiber type look they're trying to give it. Not sure if they're succeeding or not, but that's not the point. So you've got this little 1 litre engine, 74 kilowatts, 160 newton meters. It's 8 kilowatts more than before, which may not sound like a lot, but it makes a difference. All the models in the range have the same engine, same output. It's spec levels that change. So you start with the Life model at 310,000 Rand. You go through Zen, then you get to Intense at 350. Or if you want the pack, which as I explained to you, gives you the screen, the camera, the reverse camera, gives you the upgraded LED headlights, etc., it's 365 as this car is right now. And interestingly, it's very, very price competitive in the market segment. The Peugeot 208, the VW Polos, to name just a couple of cars that fall into the exact same segment. And it really is up there with them. And in this category, if I was looking right now, I would certainly put this on a short list for myself. But there's one other last little criticism I have to give you. With the fancy key fobs you're getting with most cars these days, this card type key that Renault is still using, it has keyless entry, keyless start, etc. But I just find this a bit of a old-fashioned, can I call it that? But maybe I'm complaining for nothing. Overall, definitely needs to be on your shortlist in this market segment. For Motor Matters, I'm Eleanor. I'll see you next time.